Oops, forgot the light. Hello. It's been a little bit, but that's okay. I just gotta reacquaint myself with what we were doing. Looks like this is my last to do. Passing the parsing stage now. Parse function call. Right. So right now we're concatenating this successfully. Or, well, we're parsing this successfully. Let's look at the tree. Let's just try to remind ourselves where we're at here. Actually, I should be able to do the whole tree. It shouldn't be that big. Okay. Here's the snippet. Here's the decal param. Here's the function call. So here is the identifier right here. I think. So we're calling right. And the first parameter should be this thing, which is so here's the right call. Okay, this is all incorrect. I don't really know what that's doing right now, because we're creating a function call from this, and then parse call params. So we get the open parentheses. If it's not a closed paren, we parse an expression. Okay, let's just see where this takes us here. Should not take so many weeks between working on this, but sometimes it just happens. Parse call, no, parse function call. Okay. Let's do that. Nope. Okay, we don't even get to parse function call. Interesting. This should be a parse function call. Oh, wait. Yeah. Did I not rebuild? In global scope. Oh. Okay, what are we doing here? Parse function call? Oh, wrong file, first of all. Parse function call. Okay, we are hitting it. I'm just being silly. I don't know why we're breaking on the wrong thing. I think I needed to rebuild. Yes. Okay, this is actually not even finished right now. AST function call is not declared. I don't know why. You're right, it's not. Why? Oh, duh, because it's not what that's called. It's an expression function call. And then function name, we're not using it, so... okay, so this is the identifier, which should be the entire thing. So let's remove all this stuff because it's currently not working. We don't have a result, so just do that. Okay. Now we should be able to break here. Okay. So this identifier should be nothing. Okay, that's not good. Where are we? Line 268. Nope. Where are we? $268. What are you talking about? 35. We're right here. Okay, I don't know what that's about. We'll worry about it later. So we're parsing this function call. We're parsing the snippet right now, is what we're doing. So okay, hold on. Let's go back to this. So right, so known type here is currently impossible for us to do if this function name is concatenated, because we have no way to resolve that yet, which is what this is saying. So at codegen time we should be able to, though. So basically all of this I think needs put off till later. Right, okay. This function call needs an identifier just like everything else. So let's do that. Identifier. And what we're going to say is here, when we grab this identifier, we don't care about any of this now. That can come later. So move this stuff to codegen. So that will come later. Right now, we're just going to make a function call and nothing else. So we can remove this part. This is going to be this. This will be identifier. Identifier node. This should probably include the line number. Which I think we just get from the parser. No, we get it from the token. So yes, this should have a line number in it. Is it line number? Yes, line number. Okay, line number. So when we parse identifier here, we get a token. So when we create the identifier, append identifier node, this should return the node. So we can update the line number, or no, never mind, we don't have to do that here. We can do it right here. The very end, we'll say target line number is token line. That should be all we have to do. So we are going to say identifier line number. That's moving to codegen. That's moving to codegen. For other calls, set up a new child node that is a Beckel ref. To do, we don't do this anymore. The identifier is stored on the function call node. Okay. Expect an open paren after that, so we still do this. And we still do this. It's all this that we move to codegen. Okay. Yeah? Right, this is not a... we don't need this anymore. Oh, right. This has to go here. This no longer has node type. This has we're gonna say does this eat them? It does. We need the current token. We need the current token to print a good error message here. So I guess we need the last token that this thing parsed. Which we could store on the... No, we should do it here. Previously parsed, or previously, yeah, parsed. It's gonna be that, and we're gonna say, actually, let's just let this be peak token, and then this can optionally take one of those, and we'll say last parsed is nothing. Okay, we're gonna say here last parsed, if last parsed equals next, and then we move the next one, and then same thing here. Every time we move forward, we're gonna do that. Okay. So if you pass us a previously parsed, we'll update it with what it was, which means here this can be previously parsed. We expect an open paren, and the context is a function call. Great. Good. Well, we compile. Let's look at the tree again. We don't even get there. Oh, because we don't finish. We assert in codegen, actually. So we assert in update function call if macro. Declref and declref. Oh, right. They don't have a declref anymore. So yeah. So we can't just check for this anymore. Right, it doesn't have a declref as the name anymore. Oh, but wait. Now I don't know if that works, actually. Because we were operating under the assumption that its first child could be anything, including a member ref operator. It could be anything. Whereas now, it is, we parse an identifier, we still create oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we still create a function call. Right, we're not doing this part anymore. Although, wait, now I'm confused where we were getting... If it could be a member ref, how are we getting that from this? If we're not parsing an expression here. Because before we parse the function name, we expect an open parentheses then. Oh. Does parse expression potentially create a function call? Yes, that's why. So maybe we're okay. This is if we're specifically know that we're parsing a function call. Right? The other cases should still work. So... So we create a function call. So we're not doing anything with this identifier yet. Wait a minute. Parse expression leaf. Yeah, see, this is also just going off the token. Man, this is going to be a lot harder than I even considered it in the first place. Because right now, every time we have a name somewhere, it's so simple. It's just looking for a single token for the name. Oh boy. So... So when it sees this, it's going to see a function call, and then it's going to parse the parameters. Parse call params. It's going to not see an open, or it's going to see an open paren, skip it. Now it's going to parse the parameters. And it does that by calling parse expression. And in this case, but what if the function call itself is... Where all do we do that? That's it? In just expression? Okay, okay. So wait a minute. A short string or a parser node. So why am I doing it as a short string? Everywhere else we're doing this as tokens. No, we're not. We're turning it into text at that point. So we still just do that. Okay, okay. Tricky. I think for now it's best let's just break here again. On here. So we came from parse expression leaf, and peek next was this open paren. Next was, okay, so we're calling right. So previously parsed was right. Wait. Parse function call. Okay, yes, right, sorry. Getting so confused. Okay, so previously parsed was the token right. We parse an identifier. We should have an identifier who only has nothing. Why? Parse identifier. Next should be right, which it is. If last parsed, which we have, we're going to update it to be right. Next is now the open paren. There's not an identifier here to do. Oh. So we don't do this at all. Oops. Parse identifier. Okay. We're gonna say do this while part of identifier. So we want to do it at least once. Okay, that looks better. So we're going to parse an identifier now. Next is right. Next after that is an open paren. We're going to do this. We are parsing a snippet, so we know that wait. Do we not call this? This is going to error anytime. Right, okay. This should not be a do while. This should be a while loop, but we do this part immediately. Yeah, so we parse an identifier, and okay, we're gonna append identifier node parser result next context, and then this, I think. No. This is the identifier we just parsed, so we do that. Then we add that. This will be last parsed. Let's mirror what we do down here. We're gonna say this. So, parse an identifier. We know what identifier is next. We grab it and skip past it. We add that identifier to our list. If we want to keep a record of it, we do it. And now we look at the next one, and we do this while loop. If the next thing is part of an identifier, we will immediately break if we're not parsing a snippet. We're back to this failing though, which is not great news, but we can at least look and see why now, because that at least makes sense. So, okay. This is right. We skip past it. We add an identifier node. So now result should have one thing in it. There's no next pointer, but it has this right name in it. We set last parsed equal to that, which should be right, which it is. We look at the next thing. The next thing should be part of an identifier, but no, it's the open paren for the right. We're okay. So this identifier here should be the right. Great. We create a function call called right. Okay. We expect an open paren. We get it. We parse the call parameters. So, this is on result, which is the function call. Its children are... Why does it have another function call? That's wrong. Where did that come from? Parse the identifier, create result. Here it is. Result is a function call. We got it from the call params. So next is an open paren. Great. Advance the token. The next is std. So we add parse expression. So the param node now is a function call with two declrefs. That's wrong. Std. Okay, let's keep digging. Boom. That's fine. Call params. Boom, boom, boom. Oops, I did it again. We want to stop there. Nope. Here. Right here in the param node. So we're going to parse an expression. The next thing should be this std. We parse an expression leaf, and we get a declref, which should be just the std, right? Wait. Declref. Oh, I was looking in typedef. That was confusing. Okay, decl identifier, it's the std. So we have that. We look at the next token. It is a parent open. Why is it a parent open? I now forget how this concat node works. Oh, because we skip past it. If it's a custom directive, no, we add that. We add the custom directive. We should be adding a concat node, and then we should see the after we add the concat node, we should see the open paren. So why are we seeing it immediately? Why are we seeing it immediately? Because that's why we're parsing a function call here, I think. Yes, we parse a what we think is a function call. Okay, hold on. So result right now is the right. Right, it's right. Call params. We expected an open paren, we got it, we skipped past it. Now we're looking at std. So we add a child node that is the expression. Left, parse expression leaf. It's not a literal, it's not a keyword. Keep in mind we're looking at this std. Is name looks for a fundamental type, an identifier, a preproc, and in this case we're seeing an identifier. So this is a name. We look ahead. Skip identifier. So we're skipping over the identifier std. We should skip over the concat, which means we skip over concat. There should be an open paren. We skip past that. There should be an identifier in there, which we skip. Right? We just skip right past it. Then we should see a close paren. We do. We skip it. Next is underscore file number. Skip that. Okay. Peek next is the comma. So what are we doing here? If it's a name, we want to see if this what type of thing this is. So we skip past everything that could be part of its name until we hit either. Okay, so this has to change. This is wrong. Well, I guess not. Well, the known type part is. We don't do the constructor stuff here. We just leave it as a function call. Man, I don't know how we can do any of this actually. At parsing of like at expression time. We don't know any of this stuff. I can't check if it's a known type, if it's being constructed. So this is another thing that needs to wait until codegen. But if we wait until codegen, what do we put in the tree here? Okay, assume it's, forget that part. If the next thing is an open paren after we've skipped all the identifiers, we still know it's a function call. We can go do that. If we're in global scope at the time, we know it's a macro call. That's fine. Otherwise, okay, we just check for the semicolon in case to help it on later. If it's not a paren open afterwards, though, it's just a variable ref. So this is the tricky part here. How do we handle this? How do we move this out to codegen time, but still have this do what it's supposed to do? Because right now, it is seeing next, which is std. It's not a known type. Let me put it to do in there. Parse leaf. This can no longer check for known type here. Must move to codegen. But we still need to parse this in a way where that will work. Okay. It's not a known type anyway, so it doesn't matter in this case. Peek next is a comma, so it's not a semicolon, or it's not an open paren, so we know this isn't a function call, which we know it's not. It's just an identifier. So it's not that. So it's just a variable ref, so we call parse name. This assumes the next token is true according to token is name. Eats through identifiers, returning a link. So this should return our identifier node, right? I don't know why this is here. This skips us to the end of the identifier node, but we just made it. We know it's empty. That doesn't make sense to me. Parse name, like, that doesn't do anything here. Okay, so next in this case is the std. So we grab that one, stick it on the identifier, boom, boom. We create a new node on the list and go to the next thing. Next in this case should be the concat node, which it is. We don't handle that yet. Okay. So we go to the next one, which is the paren. Oh, we don't handle that yet. That's why we're messing up, because we're hitting this. We're skipping over concat. We're not actually parsing this properly, so we're hitting this open paren. That's where we're failing right now. So we need to actually parse a concat node here, which we will skip and say next is peek token, and we expect an open paren here. A token paren open, and our current error context is that. Okay, so after we get the open paren, we expect to put in there, instead of text, which is what we do here, we want to put in the actual node. So we want to create a parser node, which is a decal ref is what we want. Create decal ref. How do we do that? Parser next. That's easy. Great. This is going to be target node. Is that? And then we skip it. And then we expect a closing paren. And we... Okay, so we see a concat, we skip it. We expect an open paren. We skip it. We create a decal ref for the next thing, skip it, expect a closing paren. Yes. Here's how we'll do this. If we see a concat node, skip it, expect an open paren. Expect that. Skip it. Create a decal ref node. And skip the identifier. Expect a closing paren. Skip it. Okay. I think that should be fine. So next is a concat node. We skip past it and we expect an open paren. We skip past that. We store that as a decal ref node. Skip past that. We expect a closing paren. We skip that. Great. We're back to parsing. That's good news. We're back to parsing. We're no longer failing the parse. So, but let's see where that gets us now. So, identifier is right. We parse the call params. Parse an expression here. We parse a leaf. So the first thing we see is a name called std. So we're going to skip past everything and just see, we're going to scout ahead to see what's past it. So basically we are, we're right here and we just want to see what this parameter is. It could be a function call, it could be a bunch of things. So we're just going to skip identifiers until we hit something that's not an identifier. And we're going to see what it is. What do we build? I am currently working on a metaprogramming system before I actually start building a kind of cross-platform library to make stuff with. Mainly games, but also other software. What language are you using? I'm using... I'm creating the parser and like the language in C++, but it's mostly C. And then the parser I'm making is for this other like pseudo language that I'm making, but it's basically just C with some fancy metaprogramming features on it. So the stuff that I'm working on right now is in C++, but it's a very C-like C++. So it is seeing here, it's going to skip past all the identifiers until it sees something that's not one. If it's a comma, it knows it's just a parameter. If it's an open paren, it knows it's a function call, stuff like that. So we are skipping ahead to see what it is. Peek next will be the thing we landed on. So we landed on this comma after all of that. So it's not an open paren, which means it must just be a variable. So we parse the name, which takes us here. Peek token. So next is this std. So we've scouted ahead to here, and we see, okay, this is just a variable. So now we hop back here, and we're going to actually parse this as a name. So next, and token is name next. This does count as a name. It's not a concatenation, so it's just, we're just going to grab the text of the thing. So target's text is just the std. Skip past it, stick it on the end, go again. This next one is the concat node. So what we want to happen here is we want to eat this whole concat node, but just store this parameter as a decal ref. That's what we want to do. So we see it. We expect an open paren. So we skip past the concat node, and we expect an open paren, which we got. We skip past that and grab the next thing, which should be our identifier, right? It's that arg. It's this. We wanted that. So we create a declref node that's pointing to that, and we can see that here. It's a declref whose, well, this is currently in decl name, which we're moving away from, aren't we? This is where this is going to get, yeah, we're going to remove this, and it's going to eventually just be the decl identifier. Yeah, that's going to just be a decl identifier, but we'll worry about that later. Let's put it to do in there for now, just so we remember. This needs to use decl identifier, not decl name, which we're removing. Okay. Okay, so we skip past that. We now expect a closing paren, which we got. We skip past that. Now we should see the comma. Or no, we skip past the concat node. Now we see the next part, which is file number. Right, so we successfully parsed this thing, this, and this, and now we're seeing this. So that should just be a name. Wait a minute. Did I miss something? Next. I did. We missed that. I skipped over one too many things, I think. Get the text. Get the concat node. So now next is... Oh, we don't skip it here. Oops. We skip it after the loop. That's why. Here's the concat node. Boom. We skip past it. Next is now the file number. Boom. We grab that. Boom. Now we're done. Here's the result. So this name should be a linked list containing identifier text, a declref node as an identifier, and more text is what we should see. So name, the first one, the text is just data, or is just a std. Next is a node. It's a declref pointing to arg. And finally, its next is text file number with nothing after it. So great. That's exactly what we wanted. Cool. So we got the leaf. It is a declref whose identifier is that linked list we just made. Which is exactly what we wanted. So let's keep going. Next is the comma, which we should now break out of this because that's our whole expression. Great. So our param node is just that declref. That whole parameter is, yeah, it's a single declref. Great. We see the comma, so we skip it. And the next param node that we should have made should be this string, which it is, a literal string. Great. Next time through, we see another comma. The next time through, we should just see an integer 14, which we got. Great. Done. Great. So this function call should look like a function call whose children are a single declref, a string, and an integer. So we have successfully collapsed this whole thing down to a single declref, which is technically what it is. That's great. That is great. So now when we print this tree, here you go. It's a function call, single decal ref that we can later expand. Here's the string, and here's the int 14, which is this here. Okay, great. So what is our error now? We are now at the point where, let's go look at what we generate at this point, because I don't even really know where we're at now. Right, so all of this is currently broken. Anywhere where we're printing out names is currently just super broken. So and that's because now when we go to print this out, this no longer has a name tied to it, right? It's just a variable, type int. It has no name. So so its info name is now empty because we're actually removing this. So all it has is the identifier, which means if I just remove this stuff, are we getting to the point where we're good? Codegen still expects a lot of it. The parser still expects a lot of it. Okay. 2, 2, 3, 4. Let's just go there first. If this is a parameter, it might not have a name because it's in a forward decal. That's right. In which case, we can just leave. We don't have to do anything there. That's fine. 2272. Same thing, we can just leave that. Wait, no we can't, because that's an ellipses. We're gonna say decal variable dot identifier dot text is equal to that. Okay, 2349. Where are we in? We're in parse variable decal. After identifier, man, this is, I need a way to get the very last part. Parse name. Let's have a get last name string. Oh geez. Of a identifier node. We're just gonna say last is identifier, while last and last next, last equals last next, return, we're also going to say, and last next name, text dot length, return last text dot length, dot text, right? So as long as there's a last, we're gonna assert last text dot length and return it. Okay, so this can just be get last name string, I think. That has to be identifier node, so this is a pointer. 2388. This too needs to be get last name string of. So this should just keep working for regular variables, because we're just storing in that first field the short string anyway, like we were before. So same thing here. We're gonna say identifier dot text is equal to that. Two 868. The thing is, we're gonna have to do this for types also at some point. Man. But also, this is only in snippets. Is there no way? I guess that is what we're doing already. We have hoisted all of the identifier parsing into a separate function. And that function is smart enough to know this function is smart enough to know if we are in a snippet or not. If we aren't, we should be getting the same thing we've always gotten. I believe. So now, 2874, that's here, we're saying, try to parse an anonymous struct decal. Its name is no longer get token text. It is parse identifier, parser, AST, decal variable. Yeah? And we don't have to advance, I guess. It's not the name anymore. This is the identifier. I mean, that took it, 2893. Same thing here. We're gonna say this is parse identifier, parser, AST decal variable. This is identifier. Okay. 3183. So this is the scary part. We were replacing every single place where we normally just grab a name, and we're replacing it, well, for a variable anyway, and we're replacing it with parsing an identifier. So identifier is wait a minute, do we do that here too? So we don't need member name. Well, we do, but we'll just call this next. Then we'll say identifier is, and this is going to be peak instead. Wait. This should come after all of this. We peek the next token. Expect. Here's what I'm going to say. Assert that next type is type token identifier. Then we're going to parse an identifier. Do we already do that? Parse identifier? Does it assert that? Oh. That's actually not. Token is name. Part of identifier is what I want. Assert part of identifier token next. Okay, parse identifier, parser, enum member, AST decal enum member. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this will be fine. I think that's fine. 3182. What did I mess up? Right. This is. This does have to come first. 3189 next. 3189. Right, we already have that. (3203). Member name, we don't have this. This is get last name string. This thing. This code is getting uglier, but I mean, wait, that wants a token. This needs to be here. Last name token. last name token, last name token. And actually this will start out being just next. 3276. Parsing a bit field. This is a very similar thing. So we create the bit field member. Its name is not that. It is now identifier equals parse identifier. It's this thing. It's fine. Okay, great. So this actually isn't right. We don't expect an identifier, we expect something to be part of an identifier. Same with that. Same with that. Okay, we need a expect identifier. Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna say if not part of identifier next, then expected identifier after that got that. Okay. Expect token. So anywhere we see this, we need to say expect identifier, and we don't have to pass that. So here, so let's do this. Expect token, we're gonna say I'm gonna go home token identifier boom 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 boom, save. So expect token, anytime we see an identifier one, I should be able to just run that macro recording. Boom. Expect identifier, where are we? Where are we? There we go. Boom. There we go. Boom. Boom. Okay. Part of identifier needs to be moved up because C needs things in order. Expect identifier, boom. Okay. Metaprogram has no member name. Are we out of the parser? We are. We are out of parser.cpp. We are compiling. Doesn't mean we're working, but yeah. So metaprogram. Here we're calling .name on something. Some variable that we shouldn't be, which is right here. So we can say, in the metaprogram, we need to say, get node name, I guess, of the get variable name, right? And in util, or no, codegen, we will say get node. We're gonna say get variable name of a variable decal. And for now, we're just going to return to do struct name from linked list. Okay. Get variable name was not declared, which means this is probably needing to go here. Okay, great. Generate struct two strings, so we have another one here. It needs to be this. So now the metaprogram can just call this, and it'll construct the name for you. How close are we to being not having to scroll up here? We're close. 387 of metaprogram. Here we go. Param name is get variable name. Decal struct, decal here we go. Get variable name. So these are all structs. Those will have to change too eventually, but I think we're good there. 586. Info. This is just child. Get variable name child. Okay. Same thing below it. How about we do this? We will say member name. All right, we're out of the metaprogram now. So now we're just in codegen. 188. This is get variable name of child. 259 is get variable name of node. Almost there to where I don't have to scroll up. 263 is this also variable name. If it's one of these, then that 969 get variable name. Great, I don't have to scroll up anymore. So 1095. Right here. Get variable name. 1114. This can be oops, sorry. This what did I do? Oh, this will be child name. And this will be get variable name teckle. Okay. 1176. So close to watch this explode horribly, because you know that it will. Ooh. Okay. Here we're replacing inside of this, we're replacing. Okay, this should be fine. We should be able to say query, right? This is the address of the query, I think. Shit. This is what we're replacing it with. Nope, that's fine. Place with is this whole thing. Get very let's clean this up a little. Okay. 1 to 20. This is this will be child name. This will be child name. 1, 2, 3, 1. We're so close. Here. Oh no. Now we get into a trouble spot because we're actually replacing the name here. Update snippet, copy decal refs. If it's a decal variable, if a decal is declared with the same name as a parameter, we want to use the parameter name for the decal var name. Oh. Shit, that has to come after. Oh man, okay. We'll just assert false here for now. To do. Haven't thought about this yet, but I think we need to just search using the get variable name. If we find it, replace just the .text part because that is all that should exist in this case. Okay. So this will be an if0 for now. Right. That's fine for now. 1218. I fucked that up somehow. That's a semicolon 1300. Actually, let's make this an assert message and say C to do. So this is subnode name. Let's get variable name subnode. This is the address of subnode name. And where am I using that? I'm just using that as shorthand, so that's fine. This needs to, though, be... Wait. Why am I not... Okay, that's weird. This can just be subnode name. $13.25. Decal name. Node. Get variable name of the node. 2678. Info. Get variable name node. Where are we? 2678. That's here. Name. 2679. Wait, what? 2679. Here too. 2819. Oh boy. This has to be a append string. Oh, yes, this is get variable name 59. Same thing. $2888. Yep. And finally, 2903. Right here. All right, how badly is this broke? Okay, not horribly it seems. We didn't like crash, we just had an assertion. So, parser, 1665. So we're hitting a place where we don't have a name. So let's just try break in there, shall we? Here we go. We're gonna break here, and we're gonna break here and say not, or no, we're gonna say here not last text dot length. Okay. Last is nothing. Okay, where did we come from? Parse param decals. Do parse. This is in a snippet param. If parent type is a snippet, we want variable decal node. What did we get? Nothing. Parse variable decal failed for us in that case. So let's see why. go in here, create the variable, count, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Next is a parent close. Oh, right. That's true. The vertical. Ah, that's why. It doesn't have a name here because snippet parameters do not have types. So what do we do with it? Oh. Okay. Duh. Okay, we actually don't want to assert there at all. We're checking for that in the case where we hit it. Okay, well we parse. But what are we outputting is the question. Static const int main. Static. Okay, we're messing up our flags. That's kind of funny. We're still not printing out the. Okay, construct name. Construct. We still have to do that. That's fine. Static const int. I don't know why our flags are getting set to everything. Why would that be happening? Like, we store those on here. We have flags, and these flags are like these, the properties. For some reason, static, inline, and const are all being set. Which is weird. Let's do one thing at a time. So parse variable decal. Flags. Consume properties. Consume properties. Okay, why is that happening? And it's happening on our function decals. Right, it's happening here. Oh. Oh, because we're not grabbing that yet. We're still just grabbing the name as a name. Because we're only doing variable decals right now. But if that's the case, why is that broken at all? Because we're only doing variable decals. Wait. Regular function decal. Let's just go there and just see what's happening. Almost certainly a regular function decal. Result. Wait, what are we doing here? Yeah, result. Result, num nodes, and we don't have any. Is num, boom, parse function decal. Consume properties. Flags are 0, which is what we expect. Return type is a fundamental type, should be int. It is. Pointers and refs should be nothing. Nothing. Identifier should be main. It is. Create a function decal. Boom. if is type any. Okay, we don't do that. Don't do that. Name is that. Okay, let's look at the function decal now. Here we go. Info decal function. Boom. Name is main. Return type int. Return type has no pointers or flags, so this should be 3. Flag should be 0, which it is. So why are we printing that? Let's go to codegen. Append node as string. Oh, wait a minute. No, that should be fine. Hold on. Append node as string. Or no, get node as string? No, append node as string. Void? Yes. Okay. Decal function. Let's go here. Node. What? Oh. Oops. That's just a typo. This should not be a decal variable. That's dumb. That's been a bug for a really long time, and it hasn't mattered because those structs lined up. That's really stupid. That's really dumb. Okay. Okay, well, I can tell, I think that that's working now. Yes. Okay, what's next on the to-do here? What else is broken? Return 0, that's fine. Our return statement is fine. We have to still construct the names from the linked list. So let's do that next. It's in util, right? Get variable name, yes. So, short string result, and we're going to return result. Okay. We are now going to grab the identifier node. We'll say current is variable decal identifier. While cur equals cur next. Before we do that, result plus equals is it get node as string? No. If cur node node then result plus equals get node as string cur node. Otherwise, result plus equals cur text. Right, this is info decal variable dot identifier. Okay, we crash. Not great. If current while cur, if cur node, okay. Here's the variable decal. info, variable decal, identifier. Here it is. Its text is just arg. Boom. Boom. If current node, which it doesn't have, result equals current next. So current should equal, or result should equal arg. Great. Current is current next. Current is null. We're done. Okay, so we break on the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's where we break. It's a variable. Oh. This is a decal function. We're messing up in another spot. Hold on. Get variable. Ah. Okay. That has to be more sophisticated. So get node or node match for string. So this needs to be get node name and get node name needs to be node. Switch on the type. We'll say default. Assert message. We are missing a type. Okay, we're gonna switch on the node's type. And we're gonna grab these. Yeah, that's fine. It's a variable. Actually, no, let's do it this way. Let's go into the parser header and grab everything that looks like a variable. And then everything that looks like a function. Okay. And then we'll do some macro magic. Boom, boom, boom. Case. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, if it's one of those, we return get variable name. If it's one of these, we return get function name. Otherwise, we just assert false and we'll return nothing. Okay. That should fix that. Get function name is not declared. So in this case, function decal, we're just going to return the name because we haven't updated that yet. This is decal function. Okay, that looks even better. Let's see where we're at. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, we are in such a much better spot than we were because now we have arguments back. Our variables now have their names back, which is great. We were missing those for a very long time as we were doing this. So this one has its name. These have their names. Great. This should be a function call. It thinks... Right. It thinks the first child's name is now the function call name, which makes sense because we updated all that stuff. So it thinks here I'm calling write as a function call and then passing it 3 parameters. the name of this function call used to be the first child. That has changed. The first child is now the first parameter you pass, which is why it's writing that out as the name. So, go back to codegen, get node as string. Void append node as string, function call. Here we go. So the way we're writing this out is no longer accurate. A function call has an identifier for the name, and then the children are just the children. So we are going to append string builder get, what did we call it? What did we call this? Oh, we're gonna say oh, you know what? Do I not have this anywhere? Did I not write this? Construct node name. Hey, Raven, thanks for following. So what is this doing? How are things going? Nice to meet you. Where am I even using this? Oh. That's when I'm using it in a declref. No, it is a lexer and a parser that I'm just using to spit out C code that I'm then just giving to the C compiler. So it's all the other stuff you would do, just not the compiler part. I am constructing a full AST. I'm just not compiling it. I'm using it to spit out C code. So, okay. So this is given a node. So I'm already doing this here, actually. Wow, okay, I already did this part. Huh. Okay. I have a construct node name right here. Instead of get node name, can I use construct node name in all of those places? Because this just gets the identifier out of them. Okay. So I already had this functionality mostly in place. Let's pull this into wait. Get identifier string from what is identifier? Okay, this is built wrong. I need a function that this is confusing now, because why do I have this thing here? I think what I need is this should be construct node name. Right? That should be what this is doing. And then I don't need this at all. This is the delegation, which I'm doing here. Right? And then what I return is construct identifier. And I pass that the identifier node based on the type. You know what I'm saying? But currently, in the case of a function, we are just going to return the name. And we're not going to do any of these yet. These will all come later. Okay, great. So now we're going to fail because I just removed get name. Construct identifier should take what this thing was doing. Did I seriously remove that? Did I copy it? No. Why did I do that? Arg. This. This will be construct identifier from a identifier node, linked list, identifier. This will be construct identifier string. How about that? So current is just the identifier, and we just loop through them, constructing the string. So this will be construct identifier string. So get variable name, we no longer have. This will be construct node name. Construct node name. What did I do? I misspelt it. Okay. Get variable name was not declared. Correct. You are right about that. Get variable name with construct node name. And then in codegen we do it as well. Get variable name, construct node name. Get node name is construct node name. Okay. Redefinition, because now we have two of these. I do no longer need the initial function I had here that I thought I removed, but apparently I didn't. This one. Nor do I need this. Okay. Great. 2988. Back to where we were. Search. Let's get rid of this. Okay. This will be construct node name from the node, which is the decal ref. Let's forget this. Forget this. Oh wait, hold on. No, I'm confusing myself. So here, when we have a function call, I think currently that the declref, the name of the function is the first thing, but it's not. It is, so we can remove this and this. We're just going to append construct node name of the node, and then all of the children. And we're not going to skip the first child anymore. Yeah? Trying to construct node name from invalid node type, decl function. Yes, okay. So now I need to refill that back in. Yes, so let's go back here. And we're going to go, where are we? Here. Do the same thing we did before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, those are all the same. But these, I need to add these. Okay. Great. Function call. We don't have that yet. Oh. Right. So in the case of a this should all be like this. In the case of a function call, we are going to return, or no, we're just going to say identifier is equal to expression function call identifier. Yep, great, cool. Declref, we don't do declref. In the case of a declref, we do the same thing, decl identifier. Right? Yeah. All right, we compile again. Let's see if we're any farther along, shall we? Boom. 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 Okay, we are in fact farther along. We're just not printing the function name. Right? We are correctly putting the arguments where they need to go. And you can't really tell here. Wait, never mind. Yes, we are replacing, okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Why are we not writing the function name? Function call, the identifier, is that. Let's just look at the tree. Here it is. We int. Okay, we're not printing out that. Let's do that real quick. Print AST node. Where's the name? Here's the name. Okay, so this will be I guess we'll just do the same thing, yeah? Name begin. If here we're gonna say name is get, or is construct node name of node. If name, boom. Same for, we'll come back to those. Same here, that's fine. For now. What else do we have? We have function call. We should print the name here. Definitely. Same here. Construct node name node. Yep. So here, this should be actually I kind of just want this to look like this. Variable actually. Let's do this. No, let's not do that. Name. Don't need the return type at all, so it can just be the name and the pointer. Construct node name is not there. Print. Do we even use this in here at all? No, none of these prints are even used in the parser at this point. So we're gonna pull this whole thing out. All this printing is going out of the parser and into codegen. Pretty print, print. Boom. Okay. We hit an assert. That's not good. Wait, why do we hit an assert? Dynamics. It's in here. Construct node name. So it's in here. This is where we're hitting a thing. Yeah. So, do we have the function call? No. Nor do we have this. We don't have the decal ref because I just commented it out. But why don't we have the function call? That's why. Because this needs to be... still don't have it. Why? Let's go into construct node name. Wait, is that in here? Yes. Function call. Boom. Nope. Okay. Node. Info. Function call. Identifier is nothing. That's bad. Parse function call. Right here, parse identifier. Oh. I'm never setting it. That's probably a good thing to do if you're gonna, you know, do the thing. You probably want to set the identifier. If you're gonna grab the identifier, you should probably, you know, store it if you're gonna use it. I think that's only logical, you know. Okay, so great, we're grabbing that now. Declref. Are we forgetting to do it there? So we have two of them. One that just takes the name, and one that takes the name and line number. Oh. This one takes the name as an identifier node. So are we using this one anywhere now? Yes, two places. 1159 in parse name. This needs to use decal identifier, not decal name, which we're removing. Ah, yes. Oh, because this is the shit. This is the one inside of it. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Forget about that one for now. 1319. This one is again, this crappy other case. Okay, these are two cases where arg. Okay, we don't properly handle either of those things yet. So this needs to go away, or at the very least needs to actually append. Okay, hold on. Can we not just do this? This actually may be fine. Can this not just call append identifier node? Parser. This. Name. And AST. This needs context, I think. Context. I think I can just do that. So this needs the context of error context. This needs the context of error context. Bro, okay. Okay. Why do we have a size of? What? Is there a... Wait. What? Why is there a decal function size of in here? Oh, we're sticking one in there. Insert synthetic keyword node, size of. Why do we do that? Okay, I don't know why we're doing that right now. Let's say to do. Why are we doing this again? Or let's say remind myself why we're doing this. Okay. Okay, here's the tree. We have our function calls, but we do not have declrefs, so let's go back to that. here. This might still crash us, and it doesn't. And boom! We got it. We got it. That's what we wanted. However, they are not getting linked up. This X should be linked up to this. This shouldn't be linked up to anything. So, exempt from unknown tag. Where is that at? Exempt from... Is that in here? Exempt from unknown tag in keyword function call or in well, I guess that's fine. That doesn't matter. This should also go in with in keyword. Okay, that as well. In snippet, that as well. None of this needs to be in the parser. Okay. These things do not need to be in the parser. This can go into codegen alongside these. I think. Is. Or is it in util? Exempt. No, this should be here. Some point I will go through and clean up where all this stuff lives, but all right, great. So let's see what this looks like now after all of that. Oh. All right, this already looks so much better. In fact, we have everything in here now, from what I can see. So why aren't we compiling? Include this. We have a for decal for main. We have main. X is 14. We call write with 3 parameters. We call testing, but testing does not exist, which I think is our only error, right? So if I go in here and I remove this call to testing, I think we just work. We do. We are back to having a functional program after like a month of ripping this stuff apart. We still have a ways to go, but I keep hitting the mic and I apologize. So now this should be getting replaced with this snippet. So instead of calling testing, this should no longer be a function call. This needs to get manually replaced in the AST with a copy of this snippet node. Needs to be placed in there. And that's no longer working because we're not calling this a snippet call anymore. In codegen, snippet call. Like, see, we have a specific snippet call thing. And we have this function that says update function call if it's a snippet. We go through all the function calls in the AST. If we recognize them as being a snippet call, actually, we want to update it and replace the parameters and stuff. So, but in order to do that, we are going off the decal name, which we're no longer using the decal name. We're using the decal identifier concept that we set up. So that'll be the next step, is to have this actually recognize that. So let's do that. Let's say let's remove that. Let's update this to be the 16th. And we're going to say, we are back to building. Now the very first next is to dig into update function call if snippet and properly utilize the decal identif now that we fill it out instead of using the decal name, which we should be close to removing, to being able to remove entirely. After that, we need to start going through the other node types. Maybe starting with function decals and the like, and converting them over. I'm sure multiple new problems will present themselves, especially once I turn on all the old test code instead of just this very simple version of main it's working on right now. Let's be positive. Let's say let's keep it going. Hooray! Well, that's rad. We are back to I'm gonna say start at to do above testing out call below. To do update function call if snippet needs fixed now. And then what was the other thing that I put in here? Right. Also need to look at the to do and if def in update snippet copy decal refs. Oh, you know what? This is probably going to come up in editing this, right? Because this is going to update to snippet calls and then who calls this? Replace snippet calls. This will have to happen anyway because it gets called in replace snippet calls, which we haven't even gotten to yet. They will likely need dealt with together. Okay, I'm calling that a success. Back to building. and running. And first major milestone in concatable identifiers. Currently works for variable decals and function calls. Okay, well, thank you for watching, everybody, if you stuck with it, and thanks for the new followers, and there's a high likelihood I will be streaming tomorrow night as well, because I'm on a roll with this, and I'm so close. This is like the last major thing that needs done in this system before I can start using it. I can start tackling these to-dos once this thing is in place. So hopefully you come back, hopefully you tune in, hopefully you're enjoying watching me just hack away at this stuff. Yeah. Have a good evening if it's evening for you. Have a good day if you're just starting your day, and I will see you soon.